Pastor Jeff, I have a realization after the very first week of NFL football.
Did the Browns suck?
Well, you proved my point. You have proved my point.
I'm sad.
My revelation and realization is nobody hates the Browns as much as Browns fans.
Man,
nobody hates the Browns.
It's horrible.
As much as Browns fans hate the Browns.
You can't.
There's barely any room for Steelers fans to hate the Browns.
You literally can't pay any other team to just actually just give games away. It's like
that's what y'all do.
There's just no way.
I mean, everybody was putting their season tickets up for sale today.
It's unbelievable. I literally almost changed clothes before I came down here. I was like, I just changed.
You can't give it up though. You guys are so long suffering. I mean, you'll be back. You'll be back though. Here's what I need all my Browns fans to know. You are in an abusive relationship.
If we had one today,
you are in an abusive relationship.
If we had one today, I would say
counseling.
we gonna do all right. But after the day,
every year they claim they're gonna change.
I never claimed they're gonna change.
No, I'm saying they claim they're gonna change. The team does. The team claims that they're gonna change. And
it actually didn't look bad. They just lost.
But that's y'all though.
I mean, the team didn't. The defense played good.
Oh shoot, are we on the right page?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at it now.
Okay, that's good.
I don't know, man. I'm
good. Okay, maybe I should share it.
Sick to my stomach.
I'm sorry, man. I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Somehow
Pittsburgh pulled it out.
Flacco, how did Flacco look?
Flacco didn't look bad. He passed the ball good. They moved the ball good. The kicker he should have walked home. I don't even care if he had a car. He should have literally just walked home and thought about his life. Or they should have arrested him or something.
Not arrested him.
I'm serious, because he was just, when you miss a field goal plus a punt from 10 yards out. Not a punt, a kick.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He missed his extra point.
He missed the extra point and the field goal.
Field goal, yeah.
So, as rabid as Browns fans are, like, how do these guys not get, like, harassed or, I'm not advocating for it, but I just wonder. Not Ray Finkel. not Ray Finkel. That is comedy. Ray Finkel missed the field goal.
He missed the field goal. Then they gave us the ball right back.
They did.
Gave us the ball right back.
I was switching back and forth. They did.
The pass Flacco made was good. He went right in the guy's hands and he let it go.
I'm sorry. So and then you had a lot of drop passes too, key drop passes and things like that. So here was heaven for me. And I'm not a Browns fan, but I'm not, I'm getting like the same about the Browns that I am about Michigan. I'm not a fan, never will be. I'll always support the Steelers. I'll always support the Buckeyes. But I'm not like a super duper hater outside of when we have those games and we're just having fun. So I don't mind switching back and forth and checking out what they're doing. Of course, I'm kind of sort of rooting for the Bengals, but it's not like hatred. But what was heaven for me was being able to switch back and forth at 1 o'clock between Fox and CBS and have the Steelers on one channel and the Bengals and the Browns, which is the AFC North team, game on the other channel, without having to go to a doggone streaming service or a Prime or a Netflix. Because I swear to you, college football is about to be the death of me. With all this streaming, is just the devil. It's horrific.
I don't know. I think I scored yesterday in Ohio State game. I'm almost positive. I'm almost positive that I had at least one touchdown in Ohio State. That just.
Okay, let's talk about Ohio State. This is a sports show, but let's talk about it.
I think they paid them $2 million.
I think they set civil rights back about 50 years. Sent them back to sharecropping or something.
I mean, how do you even go home? I mean, I know you're not that quality team, but 70 points?
70. But you kind of blame the the Buckeyes for that too. I mean, come on, man. Come on.
I don't blame the Buckeyes. You came down here to play. You wanted it. They gonna run up the score.
But come on, man.
Dude, you got to do something. I mean,
but Grambling, they're like practicing a cotton field, man. I mean, how they gonna compete? How they supposed to compete with that?
I mean, at one point they caught one pass and the DB was over there eating popcorn, like looking up, cheering for him. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on here?
Grambling just got done filming Sinners. Like, how are they supposed to be able to compete?
Film Sinners.
But the Grambling band was dope.
The band was dope.
Always are.
Did you hear what the coach said before, like at the press conference before? They were like, so what do you think about the game? And the coach was like, well, they have a great band and we have a great band. So our bands are going to compete. So they know what it was. They knew what it was. The rich paying the poor to degrade themselves. You're right, Shane. But I would have took that money too. And to say, I mean, let's remember, number one, they're getting a big payday they would never get anywhere else.
Absolutely.
Number two, they're getting to play in a venue they would never, ever get to play. By the way, have you seen most HBCU stadiums?
I've seen a couple of
They're
them.
horrible.
Bruh, they are Ray-Ann Stadium before the renovation.
Right.
I mean, they are, I mean.
But I mean, in that scenario, it would seem like, all right, this is my time to show out. You know what I'm saying? This is our time to put on our best. If that's your best.
But that is their best for who they're playing. They might actually be in the running for a doggone, league championship at their level because they're playing people at their level. That explains the Deion Sanders, the mixed results of the jump to Colorado. Those were the top talent of the HBCU, SWAC, SEAC, whatever all these different leagues are. That was the very top. And if you really look at it, it was fairly middling, even though they just termed Shedeur Sanders and them in the guy. And yes, they got all the stats, but can't produce a winner. You're right. Alabama State, I've been down there. They do have a great stadium. But I mean, a lot of places, and the fans, I mean, you don't get fans like that. I mean, and that's something for us to be real about too, because we talk up this HBCU experience and how wonderful it is, but on a week-to-week basis, it ain't that great. Yeah. It's like church. That's why I keep saying HBCUs are like black churches. What we show online, like the homecomings, is the equivalent to a family and friends day at a church. And we act like it's like that all the time, but most of the time they're out there dancing and playing to nobody. And it's just like a family reunion. Now, I'm not saying nobody, but it's a great kickback, but it ain't O State, Michigan, or even, like a Youngstown State. You know what I mean? Just it's
so would you?
I wish Grambling would come to Youngstown State.
Would you lean towards sending London to one if she wanted to go, or? I
mean, London, yes. The boys, no. Not if they were real competitors. Now, if they're gonna play for a hobby and get a real scholarship out of that, then yeah. But nah. And London's thought about it, but I've been on HBCU campuses and there's some pros and some cons to the HBCU experience. So much love to Grambling. I've always loved the black colleges getting on. Get your 2 mil on. The band killed it. Great experience.
I thought I was gonna have a couple mil after the lotto this week.
Oh man.
I gotta check my ticket, man.
I always remind my members, Len, God does not approve of gambling unless you win and you tithe.
I got to check my
That's basically the story. God does not approve of gambling unless you win and you tithe. Yeah.
The one yesterday?
Yeah, 2 people won.
I gotta find out who they are and
somebody somewhere else.
See if they need a church home.
Right.
Be an e-member. But I want to kind of jump to a first things first. Welcome to Religiously Incorrect, everybody. Glad to see you in. Make sure you hit the like, the share button. Just want to kind of throw something in on a first things first basis. This was just a random thought, and this is going to be like kind of out the blue.
Okay.
Kind of out the blue. I realized recently, just after, events, different initiatives, that I've come to hate the word awareness in the way that people feel they need to bring awareness to things.
Yes, I see where you're going. Yeah.
In the way I'm going to have this picnic. I'm going to have this march. I'm going to have this dinner, spaghetti dinner, because I need to bring awareness to cancer. And I'm like, Are you sure?
We're already aware.
Yeah, I mean,
most things
I need to bring awareness to violence.
Most things we are already aware of.
So I feel like, but there was a time when we could be like, oh, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? Like there was an era where maybe certain diseases, or did you know childhood obesity was this bad? Or did you know like domestic violence was this bad? Did you know the opioid epidemic was this bad? Whatever it might be. And they are all worthy causes and definitely need to be addressed. But the angle that is sort of pushed out, that we're doing this to build awareness, and then it always seems to kind of have like either a money component, fundraising, which is again a noble cause, or just simply pat me on the back for bringing awareness to it. So it's almost like a self-marketing campaign.
Just call it further education. How about that?
Continuing education?
Continuing education.
Cancer trade school? I mean, what is this? I mean, is this?
I'm just saying, I mean,
violence apprenticeship?
Unless it's something, unless it's something like...
It has to be a new disease.
Yeah, well, like the
like dolphin pox.
No,
I mean,
what is
it has to be
Sonia's sister? I think it's Sonia's sister cousin. She had something the other day about ostomy bags.
Okay, yes.
I'm like,
she's blessed with the bag. That's my sister.
Right. I had no idea what that was. I didn't even know it existed.
So what's the benefit of knowing it now?
I never went to the. My wife went.
We support because we're very close with that particular cause. We're very close in our church. But that's my question though. Like, we're like, man, have you heard of that new cancer? And we're like, no, I didn't. Well, we're gonna have a spaghetti dinner to teach you all about it. Like, okay. So I mean, like, unless you can teach me specifically how to avoid it, and your avoidant measures actually work, by the way, or it's something that people are actually going to do.
AIDS awareness. Stop having sex. How about that?
Wrap it
up, Doc. But I mean,
we're having chlamydia awareness.
Not chlamydia. We should go back. Well, you know what? The way our country is going, we're going to end up like backtracking and starting all over again and having like polio awareness and scurvy. Like diseases that haven't existed since like pirates existed.
Well, everybody keep on saying it's a new strain of COVID out. I mean,
but
what's
it's not.
The difference?
Okay, so that's a perfect example. So there's two sides of this awareness coin before we go from this segment. Number one, most of what we're still trumpeting as an awareness campaign, we're already aware of. Number two, when it comes to social media, at least 50% of what we're trying to make people aware of is either old information or false information. For instance, the latest strain of COVID post that's going around is from 4 years ago. It was like a second wave after we had started to do the vaccinations and people were loosening up, and they were like, when preachers were saying, you might be done with COVID, but COVID ain't done with you. So it was like around 2022. But again, we're bringing awareness to a thing that is no longer really a thing. Not to say that COVID is not COVID, but it's obviously not this devastating, pandemic that it once was. But that's my point, is on two sides, we're either overly aware of something that it's just like everyday life now. And I'm not saying it should be. I'm not saying I'm just accepting violence or I'm just accepting sickness. We already did that, Mo. We brought awareness. If you're a Browns fan and you need counseling.
Her Patriots lost too.
Yes, I was about to say, ain't you a Patriots fan?
Well, the Browns.
Ain't you a Patriots fan?
The Browns should really develop like a partnership with like a mental health counseling facility. That would be like a great sponsorship opportunity.
Listen, they need a vaccine shot. The whole Browns team. They need a V12.
They need a vaccine. They need to catch the ball shot.
Jesus.
But I mean, so as pastors, obviously, but so here's the rub, just to end this. The rub is we often get the flyers and the invites to come and be a part of the awareness events. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of cynical. And people, I know, you already hate me. I'm okay with it. But people will like run you through the ringer if you don't care as much as they care about the thing. And I think what maddens me the most is when somebody just started caring. And for whatever reason, maybe it hit their household, maybe they just decided that a light bulb went off because something really bad happened in the community and now they want to be the next voice. And you're kind of like, dude, we've been here for 20 years.
Listen,
I appreciate the effort.
We need to do a whole show on the amount of inboxes we get for
We should read them publicly.
I mean, some of it is just like,
It's hard.
first of all, half y'all flyers are misspelled, bad.
Not putting my name on them.
It's just, and why do you think first of all, you got it on your page. You got it on your page.
On your
I
page.
seen it on your page.
I saw it.
Why'd you inbox me personally?
And then they're like, you didn't respond like a week later.
I left you on red.
I get mad when I click it on accident and it actually opens up. Like I get upset. And again, it's not, and by the way, we all have a limited capacity. Nobody can care about everything all the time, especially if you're already a leader or you have an organization, a church or whatever. And people are like, well, everybody should just support everybody. It's impossible. We would just literally be like cycling around to everybody's event. And so again, I just wish and I don't know what the new thing is, but I just feel like much of what we are doing, like in these awareness campaigns, are not necessarily solutions oriented. And so that's kind of like, as we would say, what grinds my gears kind of a thing. It's not that serious, but it's just like a light affliction that only lasts for a season.
But you know what? Do you? If you want to make people aware, make people aware.
Shane, that'll be a part of Shane's job description. Just reading inboxes we don't want to read. Reading inboxes we don't want to read. Well, we're glad you guys joined us for Religiously Incorrect tonight. We took last week off because it was Labor Day. Honestly, by the time Sunday came around, I was kind of wishing we were doing the show because I realized I had no plans. You know, I kind of wish.
I don't even know what I did. I think I slept.
You deserve it.
I slept real good.
You deserve it. You should have slept through that game today.
Right.
That's what you should have did.
Then my wife had put up this 300-foot TV outside. Had an outside movie theater.
Oh, yeah, you guys did it to the outdoor.
God.
The outdoor, your illegal drive-in theater.
How was it? Was it nice?
It was real nice. It was real nice, but it was still cold.
Browns fans bring awareness to loyal relationships. Abusive relationships is what they are. We need to bring awareness. Abusive. We need to put up sad pictures of Browns fans. If you would like to donate for only 75 cents a day, you can help to comfort.
I'm going to say one more thing about the Browns. I don't care what nobody say. I'd rather have a broken knee Chubb than both of those garbage running backs we got right now.
I would have I was surprised they let Chubb go. Did they really think that they were going to get a better option? He didn't do that bad after he came back from the injury. I mean, dude.
He doesn't just as well as they doing. I mean, them dudes is 2 yards to carry.
I feel bad for you guys. And let me just say this before we go. Pastors, it's football season. Do not stay long just because you want to prove that God is more important than football. Because I'm sure there's a pastor out there who probably threw it in their sermon. I know y'all think about the game, but I'm going to take my time today. You know what I mean? It's like, even if you happen to go long, you went long. But if you literally say, I'm doing this because of football, you deserve to lose all the men in your church.
Absolutely.
They can come to my church.
Listen, I pastor in Steubenville, Ohio. It's two things they do not play around about. Even though they suck this year. Football and church. Football and church. That's it. That's all you got. And Dean Martin down there too. But
Dean Martin is from Steubenville.
Dean Martin, yeah.
I forgot about that. Well, thank y'all for watching. We want to jump into our a new version of our new segment that we call Amen or Nah. Now I'm going to set this one up. Amen or Nah is where we listen to a preacher. It's not supposed to be a joke, but sometimes it might end up being a joke, and I think that's where we're going to go today. It could have been a meme, but we decide whether we would say amen to this person or nah. We just listen to what they have to say, and we list our agreement or not. So this particular preacher seems to have a problem with how some women choose to style their hair. Or perhaps, maybe more accurately, the products that they choose to use in styling and bulking up, maybe is the right phrase. Enhancing would be a better way of saying it. Enhancing their hairstyles. Let's just see what this brother has to say.
And have braids and false hair, horse hair in the hospital. Horse hair don't belong in the hospital. Horse hair don't belong in the restaurants. Horse hair don't belong in the schools. Horsehair don't belong in the horsehair, belong on the horse's ass. That's where it belongs. Don't belong on your head.
Horsehair doesn't belong. Think of all the places he said. In the hospital. It doesn't belong in schools. It doesn't belong on your hair. Hey, ladies. This guy has a serious problem with weave. Do you think he had a bad experience?
To the no. To the no.
Is that an amen or a nah?
To the no.
That's a heck to the nah.
Heck to the no.
I mean, so this guy is known for having a lot of like anti-black, he thinks everybody's ghetto kind of a thing. My thing is, and if Mike can play it again, Mr. Ed said amen.
Yes, yep.
Now we're off. I think we're off. Play it again. I want to look at the lady's face in the back because I was impressed. Shane is taking the wise track of sitting this one out. Smart white man, Shane.
And have braids and false hair, horsehair in the hospital. Horsehair don't belong in the hospital. Horsehair don't belong in the restaurants. Horsehair don't belong in the schools. Horsehair don't belong in the horsehair, belong on the horse's ass. That's where it belongs. Don't belong on your head.
That's where it belongs. Now that lady, I think she was double checking her like mentally. Do I get any horsehair in my head?
Why do they got the picture from Big Lots in the back? The Big Lot Jesus. I mean, that's what I want to know. Forget the hair cold comment. They got the Big Lot Jesus, the life size.
Carol said, nay. You know what? I bet. And here's the funny thing. All of us have have either attempted to either jokingly, and sometimes there can be some wisdom to the excesses of what we do to ourselves. Because Lord knows, for men and women, things can get over the top. We've probably all made a weave joke or a wig joke or just a whatever, and we're just overdoing it. Not even in a judgmental way, but just, hey, y'all, this guy obviously has a whole nother tack where he and I get where he's coming from. He's not unlike probably some super staunch, Muslims might think that way. I'm just saying there probably have been some people. But the idea that black women are putting, horsehair. Listen, first of all, this is all human. First of all, I don't know what Indian kid is running around bald right now, but this is,
Stick to the gospel, sir.
Stick to the gospel.
Stick to the gospel. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It was just fine.
And do something about that white Jesus photo.
Right, please
do something about that.
Take it out.
I'm with Mariah. I would love to know what
led to this statement. But see, whenever I say things or think like that, I ask myself, do I really want to know?
Right.
Am I willing to go through the pain of actually finding this, page, sermon, and seeing what led to this? Because it was probably a random rant. Probably.
From that little 10-minute clip, I would not want to look at his service.
I wouldn't want to look at anymore, except for comedy.
Yeah.
Except for comedy. He's known for using the N-word in the pulpit a lot, to kind of despise, the behaviors of people, which, by the way, we all despise excessive behaviors or destructive behaviors and probably have said so. But talking people down and all of that, I think that's a big nah from all of us.
And I mean, once again, they just said it's probably not actually horsehair. I don't think nobody's actually using horsehair. So anybody in that audience, anybody in his audience who's wearing any type of weave is probably offended at this moment.
I don't think there's anybody in his audience.
Right, yeah. That's probably true.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't have an audience. And here's the thing.
3 kids.
We wouldn't know who these people are if it wasn't for the internet.
Right.
The internet has just made a lot of people famous that we would not know ever who they were, and they don't deserve to be known. Just to be clear, they don't deserve to be known. So that's our amen or nah.
That's a nah.
In the same way that we have invited people to send memes of the week, I think we might get more traction out of send us your amen or nah proposals. Meaning, if you come across a fairly short clip, please don't send us a whole sermon, seeing if we just agree with it or not. But maybe a 31 minute, 90-second max clip of somebody giving what you might feel is a controversial statement, or you'd like to know our views on it. I'd love to hear it.
Don't send us nothing by what's the dude name who do all his. Y'all check this out.
Oh yeah, don't send us that guy.
Don't send us none of him.
No, don't send us that guy. Yeah, I know. Be heard.
Be heard. Yeah,
don't
send
us
stuff.
Be heard. When we want to use his stuff, we'll use it if we feel like it. But we'll probably find the original clip ourselves so he doesn't sue us. Well, thank you all for watching Religiously Incorrect. We are back for another week. We can't wait to talk about our subject, which is In This Corner. But for now, we're going to go to our OG segment that we like to call the meme of the week.
You want to do it with no audio?
Yeah. It'll have the same effect.
Meme of the week. Meme of the week.
Welcome to Religiously Incorrect, ladies and gentlemen.
Meme of the week. Meme of the week.
Thank you. Send us your memes of the week. Tell y'all.
Meme of the week.
Need to
Meme of the week.
yeah, it's off.
We are, these are all jokes. We are just playing.
Need to do earbuds, headphones. All right, so this meme of the week is a carryover from the new era of Zoom and conference call prayer meetings. And I don't know if Pastor Glenn is watching and Pastor Carla, but them along with my dear mother, Mary Marsh, have all invited me to be a part of like the early morning prayer calls. I really do want to. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. But I can only imagine how many times people have run into this scenario. It gets better every time I watch it. Go ahead.
Hinder you from obeying your help or get rid of it. It's no good. That's why God have to take people out of our... I'm on the line, baby. I'm on the line. What are you doing? No.
She said,
Y'all
no.
excuse my husband. Excuse
don't
my
know no
husband.
better.
You don't know. Lord
You don't
have
know.
mercy. But
Y'all
he's-
pray for my husband.
Nigga, I came into this world.
Listen.
My God.
All he wanted was some pork chops.
You do know how often that happened during COVID when the kids was at home.
All day. All day. We was in meetings. We were trying to do Bible studies. We were trying to, but shirtless, bruh. No bra. No bra.
He called him a bruh.
No bra. I mean, all he wanted was some leftover potato salad. That's all he wanted. He was just going about his business. And so I've had this struggle with my wife. She would refuse to believe that she was actually making noise or visible or audible in the background of my Zooms. And I'd be sitting at the dining room table like, I'm on a Zoom meeting, hey. And then I hear her like slamming cabinets. And I'm like, we can hear you. And she will say out of her own mouth, no, you can't. And I'm like, yes, we can. When I say I need quiet, you do understand this thing is picking up. Like, I don't know if you think it only picks up my voice and nothing else, but that's not how this works, you know. But play it back one more time because, you know, I have complaints beside the man. Because here's what we really should be rebuking. Go ahead and play it.
From obeying your help or get rid of it. It's no
Matching
good.
the green shirt.
That's why God have to
And she's
take
going
people
in.
out of our... I'm on the line, baby. I'm on the line. What are you doing?
You can tell he doesn't take her ministry seriously.
No.
That would be him walking by with the sandwich.
Y'all excuse my husband. Excuse my husband. He don't know. Lord have mercy.
And here would
But
be the
he's-
worst thing. Here would be the worst thing. If that's not her husband. That's just Uncle Joe over for a visit.
And can I help y'all out? Because I know I do it too. I know I do it too.
What do you do?
Listen, when y'all kids come and everybody, oh, they so cute. No, we don't want your kids.
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
we don't think they cute. And I
Right.
know Grayson comes. I'm like, hey, say hi to Grayson.
Everybody say hi.
Right.
Y'all didn't come here for him.
No, we don't want to see Grayson.
Mo said the green horsehair's got to go. We should put her next to the horsehair guy and see how they get along. My wife once became famous at one of our annual conferences by yelling at our kids in the background while I was speaking against an amendment. Whose wife hasn't done that? Whose wife hasn't done that? I could be on the phone with the governor, and if Ethan didn't pick them socks up, the governor's going to hear it.
Absolutely.
The governor's going to hear about it. It just is what it is. I was distracted by the Kermit the Frog look.
Oh, the Incredible Hulk look.
I avoid Zoom meetings at this point unless I'm in my office by myself at all costs. I just want no parts.
Decided to enjoy each other's company.
Oh my.
Amen.
Was in class and there was a couple online. Okay, I'm glad they wasn't in class. Lord have mercy. If it don't belong on her or on the horsehair don't belong on her. It don't belong on the prayer life or in the hospital. What's so bad about the hair in the hospital? Is it going to stop the treatment? Interfere with the MRI machine? I mean, what is it? I don't know.
I can't call it.
I think those two should hook up. That's what I think. They make a beautiful couple. Well, if you have a meme you want to send in, email us at religiouslyincorrectpodcast@gmail.com. Or if you have an amen or heck to the nah, you are more than welcome to send it to religiouslyincorrectpodcast.com. And we appreciate your contribution. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for tagging people. This is the world's best Sunday night service you ever could stumble upon.
Absolutely.
And we're glad you joined us, even in spite of the Browns losing and the Steelers winning. Whoop, whoop. All right, y'all, we want to thank our sponsors for supporting us. Annex Events. Unforgettable events start with Annex. They have everything you need for parties, graduation events, church anniversaries, indoor, outdoor, the type of furniture and decorations you won't find anywhere else, including their custom outdoor party hut. Is that what it's called? What is it called? Is it a party hut?
Oh, no. I'm about to rent one.
The party igloo?
Birthday,
it's a party igloo. It's a pigloo.
I'm about to rent one for my mom's birthday.
Are you going to rent one for your mom's birthday? That's where we're going to be at.
Should be heated.
That's where we're going to be at. Call Annex Events at 330-979-2909 or look up Annex Events on Facebook. Tell them Religiously Incorrect sent you, and you will get 10% off your first order, but not the second, because brothers got to eat. Thank you, Annex Events, for being a great sponsor. And we came across your ad on a bench at the Action Golf Outing. We saw the Annex Events banner. I took a picture of it and said, they are doing big things. They out here with the white folk.
Hey, they doing it. They doing the doggone thing.
They out here. So if you out there golfing, make sure you call Annex Events. So Pastor Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Tonight's primary subject, I don't say second half because Scott will jump in. The Party Dome. It's called the Party Dome.
Party Dome.
The P Dome.
P Diddy Dome.
Not the You can slip in and slide out.
Order the dome and get the baby oil.
Hire us as your marketing team. You
Order the dome.
You need us.
Get some free baby oil. It's all good.
Right. Okay, so tonight's subject, at least for our discussion portion, is entitled In This Corner. Speaking of In This Corner, which reminds me of our subject matter. It literally reminds me of our subject matter.
Right.
Can you believe that Iron Mike Tyson and Money Mayweather
Not watching it.
have agreed to a fight?
Are you serious?
Yes. Next year.
Come on, man.
Iron Mike Tyson. This is such a great segue. And Money Mayweather have agreed to an exhibition bout.
Come on, man.
Flag on the play, as
First
Tony
of all,
Brown would say.
Nah, it ain't even no first of all. Ain't even no first.
You know what I say? I only have 3 words to say about any of these events anymore. All I have to say is, get that money.
I ain't saying that. Because after last one,
get that money. You won't get it from me.
Mike Tyson did not throw but 3 punches the whole fight. I ain't watching it.
Get that money, Mike.
I don't care if it's free on Netflix.
Get that money, Mike. I won't watch it, but get that money. And it's going to have a diminishing return. One of these are going to flop sooner or later.
This one is.
It's going to flop.
First of all,
most still going to tune in.
Money Mayweather is $125 soaking wet. Mike Tyson's is about $275. It's no. I ain't watching that, man.
Neither of them can read. They should have a reading competition. They should have a literacy bee, a spelling. They should have a spelling match.
I ain't doing that. I'd rather
watch a book match.
I'd rather Holyfield
match.
come in there and he bite his ear again. Give me that.
They should have a literacy boxing night. Money Mayweather versus Mike Tyson with Fantasia singing the national anthem.
Reading Dr. Seuss.
Why you gonna throw my girl Fantasia in there,
She
man?
canceled her concert in Cleveland. That's why. I got no love.
I still got love.
I got no love for Fantasia.
Woo 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 woo.
Okay, well she ain't woo 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 Cleveland.
Woo 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 woo.
It messed up my whole wife's birthday gift. All right, $1.25 and Michael's 1,000 years old. Keep your money. That's what I'm talking about. Keep your money. Anyway, in the real world where real fights actually happen,
right.
in church.
In church.
In this corner, Pastor Jeff, have you ever encountered?
Yep. I ain't got to hear the rest. Absolutely and yes. I've been at 3 churches. I've encountered everything you can encounter by now. Yes, I have. Go ahead, though. What was you going to say? I don't even know what you're going to say. But, yep, I already encountered it.
He says, I've been to 3 churches. If you say it, I've seen it.
Yes, sir.
If you say it.
I've been there. I've been involved. I've had it. I've watched it. I've lived it. Got the T-shirt.
The bullet holes.
Right.
I love that's the best answer tonight. It's the best answer. All right. In this corner, the point is, what do you do when the members you love don't love each other? What do you do when you find yourself putting on the striped referee shirt because of coarse words between members, people who just plain don't like each other, or just can't seem to get along? And you can kind of see from the outside, sometimes it's just a personality, difference. Sometimes it's a bit of a, lack of a better word, power struggle, or people feeling like this is my lane. They've stepped into my territory, or we're supposed to be doing this, or, whatever it might be. Why the choir trying to tell the ushers where to put the fans, kind of a thing. Or maybe just and I kind of want to get to this a little later, an outright like kind of a one-sided attack, and now you've got to kind of correct things.
Right.
And knowing that by correcting the attacker, you could cause a problem with them too. Like what? How do we live? And do you think people really realize the tension that we live in? Just being in the role we are, outside of preaching and teaching and counseling and visiting and marrying and burying and going to awareness dinners, stop the violence parades and all this. What it's like to just see 2 people at odds.
It's extremely hard. It is, because it's 2 people that obviously you pastor them both. Obviously you have, you have a love for both of them. But I think in that instance, as I said, over time, over much, much practice, I've come to the realization that you have to literally at that point go with the truth, whether it be bylaws, whether it be
go with the truth.
Go with the truth. Because either way you go, somebody's going to be mad at you, but at least be mad about the truth. You know what I'm saying? At least right. I didn't falter on what really happened, and I made a decision on what really happened, not on my feelings, not on how much I like you, not on how popular you were, not on how much tithes you give.
How much influence they have.
How much influence.
One of the things that I've learned is that church is a big ball of interconnectedness. It's like a ball of yarn. And any trouble with any one person or 2 people, obviously, or faction, really does affect the whole body. Yes. Because they're all connected. And let me say it like this, and there are 2 dynamics that can be equally damaging in that situation. One, if there is a lot of connection, influence, popularity, the big family, or just, I hate to use the word clique, but they exist. But even let's just say, group has known each other for years, worshiped, served each other. And that, as Pastor Shane says, giving that little corrective upset that is necessary, it's going to spread to others who have already taken their side, right or wrong, no matter what. The second dynamic I want to throw at you is the person who's unpopular or is the isolated one. And you don't want to jump in on the pylon.
Right. Where
we know what it's like to become pastors of a church and literally 30 people come to you about one person. Yeah. And you're like, I so desperately want to get to know them for myself. And one of two things are going to happen. Either you join the crowd and you realize they really are that horrible, or you get to know them and you're kind of like, I think y'all ought to just demonize this person. And I can't tell you what experiences you had that brought you to this place. Maybe they really did. But my perspective is not your perspective because I haven't had the same, and you really want me to join your club and I'm not going to.
Right.
But that will obviously put me at odds with you now.
Absolutely.
You know, so how do you deal with that large group interconnectedness? Start on that side.
Let me start here. One thing I will say is that nobody is as popular as they think they are.
Wow.
Let me say that.
I'll tell you that's true. You're
nobody
right.
is
you're
as
right.
popular, because I've learned over the years that, you know, there was times I felt like, man, if I lose them, I'm going to lose their brother, I'm going to lose their cousin. And you don't.
Well, sometimes you do, and you find out the blow is not as bad as you thought it was.
Like,
people do go with them, but you're right.
Yeah, but I'm
you
saying
don't.
a lot of times you don't lose them. You know, they're like, well, that was on them. I ain't gonna leave my church because you messed up.
And you know what? And people have, old school folk especially, have a church loyalty
Absolutely.
that often supersedes individual connections in certain ways. Everybody don't just, I know we've heard stories about splits, and I'm going with this. It don't always work out like that.
Right.
And there's nothing sadder than somebody thinking it's going to.
Right.
And they're like, I'm taking them with me. And they're like, no, you ain't. Not even more mad at you.
Right.
They're even more mad at you.
at you.
I was going to make a point in the sermon I didn't get to about Saul when he got jealous of David after they were singing the songs of victory about Goliath, and he gets mad. How at the end of the day, at that point at least, nobody agreed with Saul. He was all by himself.
Right.
God did not jump on his side. The people did not change their tune, essentially. Jonathan, his own son, had already made a pact and covenant with David. You know, they're already best friends now. And so it's like he thought maybe being king, as he starts to inhabit these feelings, that it's going to kind of spread. And it didn't, you know, at least not at first, you know. But you're right. There are people who think.
Because I had a member tell me, and when I leave, there's going to be a whole lot of people leave. Bye. See you later. Bye. Listen, you can't lead them if you need them.
Brother, that's a good way of saying it.
You can't lead them if you need them. Let them go. Let the chips fall where they may be.
You can't give them that kind of leverage.
Absolutely.
Now, you can appreciate them. You can acknowledge what they bring to the table. You can take into consideration that they do have influence and experience and knowledge, and sometimes it's a heavy pill to swallow, but sometimes we have to humble ourselves as pastors, not because we bow down to them from the threat, but maybe the interaction did reveal a reality to us.
Absolutely.
And we're like, okay, well, I'm not about to just pick fights just to be picking fights and try to have this, tug of war. At the end of the day, we're supposed to be peacemakers and try to get the best result. But popularity can have its own liabilities. And I know that, as a public servant and a person who has had a bunch of different roles that have built a name. And at the same time you build this name, you also build this crowd of detractors and people who, when that person does exit or quit or whatever, you'd be surprised at how many people are relieved.
Absolutely.
That somebody finally stood up to them or pushed them to the point, because they're like, dog, we've been waiting for that cloud to go for a minute, or at least get somewhat checked. Humble, not trying to embarrass, not trying to humiliate, but just kind of see, hey, we all have, again, a measure of popularity and influence and a measure of not having it. And you might have lost more respect from people and not realize it until that moment came.
And I think one of the other things we kind of have to look at is, as pastors, especially over a decent sized church, it's hard for us to kind of get close.
Oh, it's impossible.
To everybody. Because when you get close to, it's harder to,
You have your favorites.
Yeah. I mean, and we all do. I mean,
and the person you have the closer relationship with, you either deal with them having the expectation that you'll instantly take their side because you're closer, or you'll have the assumption from other people that you're going to take their side. So ain't no point in going to the pastor about it because they gonna have chicken wings all the time.
I know that's your people.
I know that's your boy.
That's your boy.
I know that's your friend, but I know you call her sis, but that kind of thing. And so it's really hard. And to Shane and Mariah's little interaction, that's common wisdom from pastors. Pastors will tell you quickly, love them, try to lead them, try to correct them. We're not here to kick nobody out, but let them go. Absolutely. Pastors who have pastored any amount of years, and we're kind of starting to get there, we can say we've seen them come, we've seen them go. It will happen. It will happen. You get these letters, someone comes up to you, I feel the Lord moving. You got mad about something wasn't resolved the way you liked it. You got quiet for a minute, but your whole time you were just kind of floating, looking for an out, and you found one. How about that pylon scenario? That pylon scenario. So you got the one person, everybody don't like. And you get that warning. If you've ever been a new pastor, watch out for such and such. And sometimes it comes from multiple directions. You're like, dog, what did this person do? And again, the dynamic is I don't want to walk in already having prejudged somebody based off of other people's perceptions. The other side of that is I don't want to walk in and become the next victim.
Right. Because
I was trying to be this super fair, the snake won't bite me. And the whole church full of snake bites. Everybody got the same bites. It won't bite me, How do you avoid, falling too far on one side or the other?
Let me say this, and I know you've probably heard me use this scenario before, but I only know two things that rattles use. That's snakes and babies. Snakes and babies. So
you're dropping dimes tonight, by the way.
We have to be careful.
You're doing what the Browns should have did today. You're performing well.
We have to be careful because oftentimes when we try to kill the snake, we'll end up hurting the baby. And other times when we're trying to hold the baby, we'll get bit by the snake.
Bit by the snake.
So we have to be very careful of what the rattle is using. So there was a scenario, and I'm not going to.
I get it.
There was a scenario where.
Our popular members are going to inbox us after this is over.
where everybody came to me about one person.
Right.
Been there. And so my goal now is, I need to see what's going on.
Right.
And so I had a meeting with the person. And my first question was, what do you feel like you've done wrong?
That all these people
have an issue with you. Yeah. And their comment to me was nothing. That to me was a total. If everybody's mad at you and you don't feel like you've done nothing wrong.
My response was, she think I want her husband. Which is comedy because the other side of that is, like you said, and here's the thing. We are an exaggerative generation and we don't know how to sort of mellow out. And I'm not saying that they weren't bad experiences with people because they probably were. But the funny thing is when people do tell you about that person they don't like and why they don't like them, as pastors, and I'm telling y'all, this is religiously incorrect. We're going to be honest with you. As pastors, I'll be honest. It's like, it can get amusing when people start going into their stories about what they did. Because they will like go far. And then one time in the parking lot, she parked too close to me and I almost fought her. And I mean, it'll just get like so. And yeah, everybody will tell you about that time we almost blew up the anniversary banquet over such and such. And they were getting into it in the bathroom. And after a while, I'm like, again, snakes are babies. Because I feel like I'm listening to a bunch of babies, which is funny because we know what it's like to have kids run to us and tell us what happened in the basement, out in the backyard. And this one hit. And sometimes we feel like we're listening to that. From grown people.
And truth is, What you're doing is you're telling me about stuff that happened 20 years ago that I wasn't even here. I wasn't here. I really don't care, to be honest with you. I really don't care. You can't tell me about somebody else had an affair with this person. Listen, you're telling me stuff I didn't need to know. I didn't want to know. Now I got to look at this person that you're trying to tell me about. Yep. They ain't even got an issue with you.
All day. Remember that time she was over the choir committee and that money came up missing? And I'm like, well, when was this? 1984? And I'm like, what the what? Great question about, I think most, scroll up a little bit, is most, are most, okay, I'm Miss Melanie Hamid's student, are most problems, Mariah, y'all, Ohio State must have beat you back 50 years too. Is most problems y'all hear about even worth addressing? Shane answered, in a way, no. But in another way, it is worth addressing in reminding people that there is a biblical approach that they're supposed to be taking before it ever gets to us. Absolutely. And I've had to do that several times, where someone wants to tell me that somebody else was hurt or somebody else is dealing with the situation. And my response is, well, whomever offended, hurt, spoke coarsely or mean to them, did they go to them? And that's why I said in my book signing, Matthew 18, if you ask me about all the things in the church covenant are the most important, it's the one nobody ever wants to do. And that's actually address the person the right way, which I'm not sure people are capable of doing. Maybe God set us up for failure. I don't know. Maybe God is a Browns fan. I don't know. Sorry, Shane. But did you go to the person really seriously? Or is this just a mixture of funky feelings that nobody ever really would have been able to untangle?
And that's really the problem, because they don't want to go to the person. They want you to address. They want you. And to answer Mariah's question, is it worth addressing? Probably not. Do we have to address it? Yes,
absolutely.
We do. Yes, we do.
You absolutely
because
have
if
to.
We don't address it, then they're gonna look at us like,
and Pastor didn't do nothing.
Pastor didn't do nothing about it.
And then that's how we get our favorites.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's how we get our favorites. What did they do to get Pastor on their side over a piece of pound cake? I mean, it's really stuff like that. So I mean, that's damaging in its own right. But here's the other part that I don't think most people think about. That's really worth our time as we kind of close out this part of the conversation. Is these people we love, and we trust that these persons love us.
Right.
And often we have love for both factions. I don't know if they understand that a part of loving people is not taking them through unnecessary stress and strain and impossible disputes. Because sometimes I have said to myself, I wonder if this person who I know loves me a great deal understands that what they're bringing to me is placing a burden on me. Now, some people will say, I didn't want to burden you with this, and I'm grateful for it. But here it comes. Here it comes. And sometimes the things people don't want to burden you with are the things you wish they would have just shared. Yeah. And the things they're willing to burden you with are the things you wish they would have kept to themselves. And so sometimes I wonder, let's say you are closer to me than the average church member. I would say to you, and take it, if this happens to be you, you are more responsible for how you represent yourself and me to the rest of the church because of that closeness, and Absolutely. You need to be mindful of that. That people are going to assume by the nature of the closeness of our relationship that you do have more clout, more influence, and all of that. And so if you want that relationship with your pastor or a leader, you need to be willing to take on that level of maturity, and that you might have to eat some stuff just like we do.
Right.
Because it's not worth putting us through hell over these little petty disputes. And again, you're just being human, just being a person. You just got your feelings. But because of the closeness of the relationship, it does bring stress to us that you get to go home and go to sleep. And the next day you're telling us how much you love us, and you're, dropping off loving me, whatever. You're throwing something in my hand at the end of service, and, all that, kissing the bed. Great. But I would rather you save all that and be sweet to the rest of the members.
Absolutely.
You know, and so I hope people understand that there's a strain. And just like a parent, it really is impossible for us to love everyone equally. And I'll be honest, I don't. It's just in any large group of people. I love everyone equally as the members of my church, but you're going to have closer relationships with some than others. You're going to strive, because that's a part of the maturity of a pastor, to not allow that to affect actual incidents in decision making, but you can't change the people's perception of how you're handling that, those situations. So the stress, have you ever dealt with, like, I just want to tell people what this is doing to me. And even though it's their problem, they don't realize, you feel selfish saying, this is doing something to me, and I wish we would all just kind of stop and be mindful of all this chatter, all this talk, all this backbite. It reminds me of my mother. There have been times when, and you've probably gone through this when you were little, you ever watch your mom, and it's usually moms, go so far off that you start to worry because you were acting up, or you were fighting with your brothers and siblings so much, or you just drove them to the edge, and next thing you know, I mean, they got another look in their eye, and they're literally like, why are you doing this to me? And one time, my brother and Tony and I fought so much going on the way to church, by the way. My mother literally laid on the horn all the way down the street. Like, I'm sick of y'all! And I'm like, yo!
I think she's mad.
But you literally got worried. You seeing that vein come out the neck and that kind of thing.
Like, I love you, bro. I love you, bro.
I was just playing.
We good, Mom. We good.
I was just playing.
We just playing. But I'm just saying, and people do that to us, though. They do. They will we worked it out. And I'm like, nigga, I was literally crying all night long over this. And now y'all over here smiling and shouting together and all this other stuff.
And I think another factor of it is, and we as pastors, we take it to God. We try to pray about these instances. But oftentimes, we don't want to share it with our wives because we don't want our wives to look at y'all differently.
Don't tell Switchblade Shamika about it. She's you know what our wives would say? And when I'm trying to pick on our wives, I don't let these folk like you do.
Absolutely.
I love you, the husband.
That's it.
And I'm starting to dislike folks that's taking you through
all these changes and all this turmoil.
I'm telling you what I know from experience. I said something at Bishop Heron's 70th birthday party and her 45th wedding anniversary. I said, when I was a younger man watching couples like them, I thought I knew. Mm-hmm. I thought I knew, and I did not. And now I'm just coming to know. And I am saying nothing of an aspersion against dear, sweet Lady Brenda or my own wife Shamika or any first lady. But if you think you got a funky or funny acting first lady, you probably made them that way. Because you cannot ask them to hide so much when they see how much you take their husbands through and their families through. And you want to know why they kind of sort of turn their head at Walmart when they see you coming? It is not because they are too bougie, or they're too special or anything. It's because they're too loving, too dedicated, too devoted to sit here and put up with somebody's bull crap that they know is raising their husband's blood pressure, keeping him awake at night, just to smile in their face and hug and kiss them on Sunday and then cause more hell the next week. And she's the one that's got to rub our heads and tell us it's going to be all right and, all that kind of stuff and hold us together. I mean, that's a created thing. I want to go to Jeanette's question up a little bit. She said, however, how do you react, and this is good, when people who are not even involved in the disruptions feel that perhaps they're in the wrong church and feel as if, that old mantra, this stuff shouldn't happen in the church, this stuff happens in the streets, that we didn't. First of all, just that last part, we didn't fight this much in the streets. Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
You was literally breaking bottles over folks' heads.
All day. It happens every day.
All that kind of stuff. You was cutting folk I mean, fighting over poker games.
And just be honest, it happens way more in the street than it does in church.
Stop that.
Yes,
church people just have a little funky smack lip, like I was saying today in church, little kind of thing.
Hit you with the beatbox.
Right, hit you with the right. Hit you with the beatbox. But it is genuinely damaging. And again, that's a part of the stress of the pastor. No pastor watches people be at odds with each other and not worry how far will this spread.
Yes.
And what will others think of it and take from it concerning, number one, who God is and who God is to the church that they're in, and what kind of leader I am, that I can't seem to, corral this or whatever. And that it does perpetuate the stereotype that you just mentioned that we want to break by not being having dissension and factions and cliques and this and that. And we're looking at people doing it who have been in the church a long time like, no, you are. It's like somebody putting on blackface and playing the part. You're like, no, don't do that. You're proving them right.
And I think a lot of it, because a lot of these pastors, especially these older pastors, were a lot more stoic and a lot more straightforward. And we've come up in a more
personable
grace. Personable. We're giving people a little bit more grace.
They have more access to us.
More access.
We have more access to them.
And then you also have the social media where,
that's what I'm
regardless of who's in the wrong,
they're going to tell their story.
They're going to tell their own side of the story, whether it's right or whether it's wrong.
With no names, vague.
But they going to know exactly who you're talking to.
They know exactly what you're talking about. People think they funny, not speaking to me and including me. They know I can sing.
I ain't going to say no names, but it's a church on Main Street. It's a church on Main Street. Pastor think he all that. Sweat.
It rhymes with Beck and Baptist. But I ain't gonna say no names. but we really do worry because we're worried about the whole health of the church. Yeah. We're worried about that younger, newer member, that person who came in skeptical and started to open up, made themselves vulnerable. And sometimes we're watching it like a train wreck from the front of the church or from the perch of the pastor, period, where we're watching people come into the church together. And then especially if newer people are joining the church or getting to know each other, we're worrying like a coach would, which is the best thing I could kind of compare a pastor to as a coach who has to worry about the chemistry of the locker room. Like, this person's on fire for God. Oh, Lord, is Sister so-and-so going to come at her about that dress? Is so-and-so going to offend her when she says she wants to serve with the such and such committee?
And that's why I think
the choir going to make them feel welcome.
I think those core teams, not really core teams, but those, what did they call them back in the day where
like circles?
You literally gave somebody.
Oh, they had like small groups. Oh,
you literally gave somebody. This person had to be in charge of this new member, because what happens is, like you said, these new people come in and they know more about who's pregnant than who got a ministry.
That's correct.
They find out all the negative stuff.
Sometimes you need to know these things, though.
They find out all the negative stuff. So
sometimes you want to warn a brother. You want to warn a brother. Hey, she crazy, dog. Scroll up. I want to see what Carol said. I thought he had a good comment, and I skimmed over it. We as a congregation also have a responsibility to determine if our issues are worth bringing to the pastor. Have we done everything? And that's what we said. And thank you to rectify the problem. Again, Matthew 18, of course. But sometimes it's just, as Mariah said, people are petty. And sometimes it's just being an adult. And people, adults aren't so good at adulting.
Absolutely.
And I think sometimes we have this false delineation between childlike behavior and adult behavior when it's really all just human behavior at a different age and with different resources and different tools.
We're all gonna get in trouble again.
I think church beef is an older people thing. You would only think that if you went to a church where we have a lot of older people like we do. I've been to some younger church contexts, and trust me, young folk can get it on too.
And I've had several
we've lived through
folks.
Yeah, younger folks were the problem.
Yes.
So I think it's a human problem. But again, and that's my biggest thing, whether you're coming into the church, looking at the church from the outside, you've been in it all your life. First of all, look at it as a problem of humanity. The Bible even says so. Now, these are the works of the flesh. This is just what we do as we struggle and strive to allow the Spirit to fully control our lives. And maybe some of our hardest cases are the people who are just as human as everybody else, just as fleshly as everybody else, but has such a spiritual demeanor and vocabulary about themselves that they spiritualize all of the issues that are really just personal disputes. They're demonic attacks. They're, spiritual strongholds, the strong man, the infamous strong man. And I'm like, no, you just have a personality difference with that other person in that ministry or group or whatever, and you don't mesh well. Right. It is something about the way you approach things and the way they approach things, and there are no demons involved in this endeavor. But they have a hard time, and sometimes even the terminology they use, you have to be careful, like even nodding in agreement, because they're like, I had to pray on this, and I'm going to go intercede and get him out. I'm like, no, you just go say I'm sorry and keep moving.
Let's see that. I think that's the real point of this whole conversation. Go to your corner.
Go to your corner.
Go to your corner. Take a time.
At least take a break.
Time out. Sit down and watch this. Don't go to your corner to figure out the best next way to beat them.
The next round.
That's what we see. Many of us are in a fight we can't win, but won't throw in the towel.
Right.
Let it go.
Right.
Let it go. Sit down. Think about it.
Won't be happy if we win.
Right.
Won't be happy if we win. If we won, we'd still be miserable. And I said it the other week. I said, here's how I know you're not really over that thing that you think you told them off, and you think you read them their rights, and you think that you wrote them down. Because when you go home after you did it, you can still think of 4 more things you could have and should have said that would have been better than what you actually did say. And that lets me know you might have looked like a winner to the other people. You told them off. I let them know. But the fact that you still had to call 5 people after the fact to let them know you let them know tells me all I need to know about where your demeanor is. And so again,
Bishop Jones said, many of us have won the fight but lost the soul.
Lost our own soul.
We've lost it. It's because what happens is we won this fight, they lost, but they left the church.
Yep.
Now they ain't in the church no more. They don't want to go nowhere else. They got church hurt and they've lost the whole soul.
To me as a pastor is for people to basically be glad they're gone.
Oof. Wow. And
it's disgusting to me because it is antithetical to grace.
I said it a few weeks ago. The only thing worse than being lost is being lost and no one is looking for you. And we have a whole church full of people who've left. The church they happy they gone.
Somebody get Kevin Stefanski on the phone, because Jeff is talking like he should be on the team.
Let me ask you guys.
Go ahead, man.
Have you ever had to kick anybody out of the church?
I've never had to officially. Okay, yes, I did. But this was a person who was not a long-time member. They had just started attending, and there was already evidence that they had a demeanor and an aggression about them. And, it was almost comical, quite frankly. They threatened the we literally went to the house to try to talk to them, and they I'll beat you up right now, to one of the deacons. It was after a while. and so we had to tell them that we're sorry. And the reason is because they had threatened physically, literally, an usher. And we're just not going to allow you to physically threaten. And again, they were not like a member. This wasn't Now, our church is not alone. There have been people dismissed in the past from the church. And it's really hard to untangle sometimes, how those things happen. But when you sort of get the stories, you're like, yeah, okay.
See how.
If you're really undermining the pastors, secret meetings, committees, just craziness. You got to address it. God demands that the Bible says, woe unto those who sow discord. And that woe unto the preachers who don't deal with the folk.
Absolutely. Who
literally divide the sheep, divide the flock. And there's 2 ways in which they can do that. And Shane said, keep Stefanski out your mouth. Shane Russo, the official Will Smith of the Cleveland Browns. But yeah, 2 things I think that every pastor must hold himself accountable to doing the difficult thing.
Before you go there, I just want to answer Mike's question.
Yeah.
I've never kicked anybody out. I've never had to kick anybody out, but I have had to take people out of their positions, set people down.
Oh, yeah.
And because of doing that, they determined that they're going to leave. Because
they told people we made them leave.
Yeah, told people.
That's what happens. We make some sort of determination about how we're going to move forward and say, you know what, for the best of this, I think, you shouldn't be the president, whatever, or I think you need to take a break for a minute. And let's get back in a month and talk about this. And they walk out the door and say, he put me out the church. They walk out the door. Now, trust me, Deacon Willoughby has a pocket full of letters. If I put you out the church, you'd have physical evidence of it. Because he still has a pocket full of letters for whoever we need to send them to. But it's a difficult thing. But there are two things we're obligated to. Number one, those who engage in false doctrine.
Today's letter start with "Let it be resolved."
Let it be resolved. Whereas,
as of this day, of our Lord and Savior, the year,
a copy of this letter will be kept on file in our archives, forwarded to future administrations. Two things we have to deal with: false doctrine and divisive people.
Absolutely,
we're just forced to. And by the way, people over talk that difference of opinion is not necessarily false doctrine, and folk who don't get along is not necessarily divisive. But if you are literally trying to pull the church apart, pull people apart, using lies, schemes, sabotage, exaggeration, manipulation, we're called to address it. And by the way, by the time you get to a point with that, most pastors know this is an unwinnable battle. We could talk about winning a brother and all that stuff, but by the time they get to that kind of behavior, they've been gone. They're just trying to tear up the store on the way out.
Absolutely.
They're like the guy running their hands along every shelf. Like, I'm so mad I'm not getting a refund. I'm gonna knock all this over so you got to clean it up. Yep. They'll start telling stuff they knew. Well, I know you didn't deal with so-and-so. You know what I mean? They leave like a mess for you to have to clean up. And so that's an unfortunate reality. Churches don't put folk out like they used to, or even sit people down. We don't do it the same way. Right. But here's the funny thing I found. It's like discipline of children. And I'm not comparing adults to children, but I found out that, what do they call it? Soft parenting. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work.
It doesn't.
If you think that a rebellious, mean-spirited, disagreeable person is gonna respond any better to, let's talk about your feelings, as they would have to an old school preacher saying, you're sat down in silence for the next 3 months. They're not. And I get that heavy-handed ministry and heavy-handed preaching has marked some of this stuff, but I found out that a soft touch does not normally give you a better result.
It doesn't.
You could have been mean as a junkyard dog, because no matter what, they're going to claim you were.
They're going to say it.
They're going to claim you were. Wonder why preachers like Richard Nixon putting recording devices in their offices now, because you got to practically protect yourself with social media, because they're not just going to the hairdresser anymore with these stories, and so you got to be careful about that, Have you ever seen, like a happy resolution where people got to know each other, or at least come to an understanding because you did intervene and it helped the situation?
It has happened. Happened. I've had some good turnouts and some, where people have come together, but more often than not, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Reverend Russo made a good point. Trying to burn down the house they don't even want to live in anymore. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you have a discussion with Mike? Sometimes he don't be getting people's good side. Listen, Mike has an assignment. Mike's assignment is to get you at your most ugly point of worship possible.
Find everybody's ugly side.
I want to see your eyelashes coming off. Zoom in on them nails that were supposed to be done, but they canceled on you yesterday. I want all that.
If you ain't want those toes showing, you shouldn't have wore open-toe shoes.
We're going to see them corns today. Bless the Lord.
Should put lotion on.
Here's my best result sometimes. Not so much that I made people make up and become friends, but that they came to an understanding of what I will and will not tolerate.
Absolutely.
All right, you don't get along. You ain't going to keep causing confusion and messing this church over it, though. Find your space, find your spot. Do like we would tell kids. And I hate to say it, but that's why it feels like kids. Because if you got to play on that side of the church and you got to play on that side of the church for the rest of your life, like a playground, listen, you go over there on the slide, you go on the swing, y'all leave each other alone. Right. That's like, okay, because I'm not going to tolerate this. Right. I'm not going to. And when you talk about pastors and mental health, when you talk about pastors and self-care, it sounds so good to say, until my mental health and my emotional stability and my self-care depends on me deciding not to deal with you. Because that's what it might be. I will not have another meeting about this. Absolutely. I will not carry this on beyond the 30-minute, hour-long session we had together, and you want to keep running it over and over, or you come up with another thing, and Pastor, don't you see? I really can't, because I will go crazy. Y'all will bury me, put a black cloth on my chair before my time, and put out a call for a new pastor and forget I ever existed, and then you'll kill him next. So I'm not gonna, so if you care about mental health in pastors, which you should, if you care about the emotional stability of your pastor, if you care about the peace of their home, then while you bring your concerns, which you should, and while you bring what you would hope they would intervene, just be mindful that there might be a stopping point and you don't get to decide where it's at. Absolutely. You don't get to decide that.
And I think, letters can be one of your best friends, not the get out letter, but just, is this fair? Is this fair? I want to know, do you think I've been a fair pastor in this?
Call Judge Judy.
I mean, seriously, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? But I will also want you to sign that piece of paper so that when you leave, if you leave, you know what I'm saying? I have something to say.
I don't want a paper trail. I don't want a paper trail. If you want to tell your lie, I'll tell mine. you tell your lie, I'll tell mine.
When is the best time to come to you guys?
Not before church.
Please.
Not
before and not after.
Not after. I love all y'all. If the shoe fits, please wear it. I don't want to say I don't want to hear it. I don't need to hear it. I know you're preparing your sermon and getting ready to preach, but.
And don't even say, when you done preaching, I got something to talk to you. Now it's like, well, what is it?
Sometimes I want to get in the pulpit, like, what you want to talk about? What you want? Get out. Give me a mic. Yeah, give me a mic. Let's have a confessional, open confessional. You know what I mean? Find a Catholic church, sit in the booth. I mean, something.
They're all week long.
Not before church, man. I mean, you might want to think, is there ever a good time? Is there ever a good time?
Is this something that you could have figured out yourself? Is there something as a grown...
Go visit Shamika at work.
I'm gonna just be real honest.
Go to the downtown.
Don't go to my wife. Grants. Do not go to my wife, please, because she gonna get you. You want to talk about real and wrong?
Uncut. Tiffany gonna say, I don't care about none of y'all. Y'all whack.
And she will. And will.
I mean, and I do mean with love, but I mean, again, think of the stress. Please, not before church. And I know that's when you see us. I know we don't see you all week, but for the love of all that is holy and good, my God.
Wait till Bible study.
You know what? Come to city council. You got 3 minutes. Come to city council. You got 3 minutes to speak your piece twice a month. Jason, I'm going to ask everybody what's on their mind.
Go right ahead.
You got 3 minutes to speak your piece, and then we'll bang the gavel and keep it moving. But I mean, it is because we're all people. I always say, if there were no people, there would be no problems.
That's it.
99.999% of your problems in life are people, and the other 0.1% is bad weather. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. 99.9% of your problems are people. The other 0.1 is bad weather. And if it wasn't for people, you wouldn't have 99% of your problems. And so understand that while somebody is a problem to you, there's a good chance you're a problem to somebody else.
Can I share one more thing?
Go ahead, man. You've been hitting home runs.
Can I share one more thing? Listen.
If the Browns scored this much as you did tonight, they would have won.
Stop throwing the bylaws at people. You only want to use them when it fits you. Stop,
bylaws, constitution, the rules of the auxiliary,
regulations,
the auxiliary rule
listen,
book.
It's a guideline. Stop it.
It says right here, if you don't come to this meeting, you can't usher this week. And
just stop using them it just irritates me. I want to take the bylaws and throw it in a fire somewhere.
We don't have official bylaws at Second Baptist, but we just have a lot of stuff that was voted on, and nobody ever seems to know where it was written at, but they remember the meeting when they voted on it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We said we was all going to do this, and I'm like, all right, well, I've been here 10 years, ain't nobody did it yet, so why are we mad at this lady?
Right.
What are we doing? So it's a constant struggle, and we signed up for it, Jeff.
We signed up for it.
We signed up for this, just like you signed up to be a Browns fan. This is what
I'm wearing them with pride.
I'm only talking now because we won this week. I'll be real quiet next week.
Did we though? I mean,
I think
ugly.
A win is a win, bro.
Yeah, but
okay. What Steelers win has not been ugly over the past 20 years?
Same old. I
mean, we won Super Bowls ugly, literally.
Same old Steelers.
We won like Super Bowls with less yards than the other side.
At least y'all won, though.
Listen, I'll take it to my grave, Sixburg. Mm-hmm. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed the subject matter. We're always open to new topics and all and things like that. Always enjoying the conversation, Pastor Jeff.
Absolutely.
And looking forward to future Sunday night service sessions with you. If you haven't yet, please make sure you like, subscribe, or follow any. I'm going to be gone, Shane. Ain't going to be nothing but dogs and drug dealers down here by the time you get to the studio. But
dogs and drug dealers.
Stray dogs and drug dealers. All right.
Hey, real quick before we go.
You got it.
I want to ask everybody, send us your questions.
Yeah, send
us a question that you would like to ask Pastor Todd and Pastor Jeff. Something crazy, something funny, something serious, no matter what it is. If you have a question for the pastors, email us, inbox us. We want to start doing some Ask a Pastor questions.
Shane, limit it to 10 questions, please.
No, for Shane, 3. You get 3. That's it.
Right. He gets 3. Man, we love y'all. We always appreciate you. Make sure you tune in same bat time, same bat channel next week, Lord willing.
After we done lost again.
I believe y'all might come out. Who y'all got next week?
I don't even know now.
I don't even know either. I don't follow that close. But we'll see. Hey, football season is football season, and I ain't hating.
Are you ready for some
football? I love it. Y'all take care. Peace out.
Peace, y'all.